I wish I had some guidance or some advice to give you, but all I can really say is that after you graduate high school is you should just get the hell away from here and just move away as far as you can. So you have to step up and figure out where you're gonna go on your life path. I was born on a dairy farm, and it's the same dairy farm that my dad was born, raised, and still lives on. And so growing up, it was always kind of the assumption or hope that I would, take over the family legacy and have the dairy farm. So my job was always to help my dad milk the cows. And so we had a lot of chance to have good conversations throughout that time. And one night I remember my dad was on one side milking the cows and I was on the other side. And I remember him just saying, I'd always hoped that one day you'd be able to take over the farm just like I did for my dad, but the milk prices are just horrible, and there's no way you can make a living. He said, all I can really say is that after you graduate high school is you should just move away as far as you can. Here I knew it came from a very loving place, but the thing I really felt at that point was just a feeling of insecurity and not knowing what I was gonna do. When you're 17, you just really rely on your guardian or your parents' advice. So just having that feeling of unknown territory, just make sure you're going to choose the right path. You don't want to end up in a bad situation. So time goes pretty fast, especially when you're 17. And so I decided to apply to college. Moved up here and worked a few different jobs while going to college for graphic design. It definitely gave me a good eye-opener though at that point, and just trying to figure things out, because I guess in the end nobody really knows. You kind of take your own path anyway. So I think that was probably the best advice, even though it was kind of delivered in an odd way, to just go out and figure out the best life for myself and what's going to make me happy and successful. If you kind of figure out your life path and where you went, is I went from the dairy farm to going to college and then starting a DJ career, which I got to meet several friends there, but the most important ones are the ones that led me to my current job at Nagios, where I'm an outbound sales representative. And now we have an upcoming opportunity to take a trip to Tanzania, which I was fortunate enough to be selected for. Always loved animals and never thought I'd have an opportunity to do anything like world traveling just because of the time or money. So sometimes it's good to have the unknown in front of you. And I think that's probably the thing I maybe did learn from my dad, is I was looking to him for guidance to say, this is what you should do and you should take over the farm. And I wish I could have said that, but I think ultimately, maybe ultimately what makes life a little bit better is to just seek the unknown and not necessarily take the path that you assume is the right one. I still love the farm and I love animals. I actually bought 80 acres of my parents' land, so at least I have the woods. I still drive tractors and can haul out logs and cut down trees, and you don't forget how to do that stuff. So I'm very happy where I'm at right now, but you shouldn't forget places that you came from, because I don't regret where I grew up or how I grew up. So that's still something that's really close to me, is the farm and the family and the animals that are back and involved with that. It's always going to be a part of me. And what's right for somebody else isn't always going to be right for you. And you really have to decide what's the best path for yourself.